Welcome to Your Greatest Life. Welcome everybody to Unwinding Stress. I'm Dr. Kevin Gyurina, and today we're talking meditation, quieting that mind, bringing balance to the inner self so you can have a better life in the outer self. I have a guest, Dan Court. He is a PIF director of a digital company, and he's got a lot of experiences in the corporate world, and he has a whole story about moving from the corporate positions to moving into a world of nutrition and energy healing, while also managing these other businesses that are going on. I want to introduce Dan, and we're going to be talking about meditation today. Thank you, Dan, for joining us. Give us, if you could, give us a bit of a summary of where you started, how you got here, and the role of meditation in your life here. So keep it simple, right?
Definitely. Well, thank you, Dr. Kevin. It's a pleasure to be here today. I started my career in sales and then business management, started up a number of companies in different industries, and worked, all hours, 7 days a week, a lot of stress. I always exercised, thought I ate well, but never really did much to calm myself down and deal with stress other than the exercise. I had two companies that did very well, ended up selling them to New York Stock Exchange companies, and I had a third one that I sold to a NASDAQ company. And basically in achieving that, I had really burnt myself out to the point where I just couldn't even think of working anymore. So I ended up taking a 10-year period off, bought a plane, flew around, skied all over the world, played golf every day just about, practiced yoga, and, really was just trying to, replenish my being, and figure out what the next step would be in life. And during that period, I ended up becoming ill, having some major issues, and I tried conventional medicine, and, it just didn't seem to work. It was just one more procedure, one more medication. And I met someone who really just changed my life and asked me if I had ever thought about preventative care and wellness. And I started researching it. It really fit well with my belief system. And I took to it like a duck to water. I just loved it. I couldn't get enough. I tried every protocol I could think of. I learned as much as I could. I became a clinical nutritionist. I was doing muscle testing, Qigong, Reiki. I did a lot with tuning forks and emotional release protocols, all kinds of energy work. And I was fortunate enough that I was able to study with Manju Joyce, who was the son of Pattabhi Joyce, who was the founder of Ashtanga Yoga. Did a few seminars with him, and he really taught me a lot. He said that the real essence of yoga is not the asanas, the exercises, but it's really the pranayama, which is the breathing, and the chanting. We would spend the mornings doing asanas, and then the afternoon would be all dedicated to breathing exercises and chanting. And basically the asanas were to get your body fit enough so that you could breathe properly. And I always enjoyed the meditations that I did, but like most Americans, I always thought there was more to meditating than what I've come to understand today. And, I think I'm not your typical American person that would be into wellness and meditation. I'm turning 66 in June, and I've always been a very active go type of an individual. So the concept of calming my mind and relaxing is something that really I learned from Robert Peng, who's a Qigong master, and I was fortunate enough to study with him as well. And really, took to the Qigong exercises. I love them. You know, they're basically gentle, moving, breathing exercises. I'm sure many people have heard of Tai Chi. So there are 4 schools of Tai Chi. There are over 80 schools of Qigong, everything from strict martial arts to complete healing arts. And Robert Peng is on the side of healing arts. And it really, really changed my life. So the more I did for myself, people started to notice the change and started asking me what I was doing, and I started sharing that. And over time, it turned into a wellness practice. So one of the businesses that I have today is called Holistic Wellness Alternatives. And, you know, up until recently, last December, it was a brick and mortar practice where people would come in, we'd give them nutritional advice, we would guide them in nutrition, weight loss, and energy work of various types. And last December, I decided to convert it to an online virtual business, and it has just taken off since doing so. And it's a much better lifestyle for me. It allows me to manage my time better, to take breaks during the day so that I can meditate or exercise, so that it's not just a straight 12-hour day. And I work it out very nicely for myself.
Well, it sounds like you've created a system where you can incorporate the balancing activities and things that you've learned and bring that into your day-to-day life and still manage a growing corporate or entrepreneurship business model. And you know, it's really, for me, it's a desirable goal to attain. But you mentioned the fitness, getting the body ready for the breath. That was a really interesting thought, because the breath in every area I've studied is the grand balancer of the human body. And we have every analogy from the left side of the brain to the right side of the brain, the yin and the yang, the up and down, the inside and the outside, the male and the female. We have all these opposites, but there's something in the middle. And when I look at that for the human experience, it's the breath. So why, or I suppose, what is it about breathing that is so challenging for our society right now?
Again, through Robert Peng, through Manju Joyce, and through other teachers that I've studied with, it seems that Americans seem to make a lot more of an issue out of this than other cultures. They don't seem to have as big of an issue. You know, I've run into a lot of clients and people I've spoken with, and they've told me that they've tried to meditate, but they can't quiet their minds. And it's not something that's necessarily instantaneous for people to learn to do, but even one breath in and out is a form of meditation. If you did that periodically throughout the day, you would feel much better. It calms you down, it relieves stress, and works very well.
So even just stopping for that 3 seconds, 5 seconds, pausing, focused inward and then outward, full inhalation, exhalation, and that is a meditation in itself.
It is, and I often recommend that people start with just that, just one breath, and begin to build on that. If you remember back when you first learned to ride a bicycle, it was, you had the desire to do it, you wanted to do it, all your friends were riding bicycles, but now it was your turn. So I don't know if your father was like mine, but my father gave me all this technical advice, so my head was full of all these, all right, I have to sit up straight, I have to keep my feet on the pedals, I have to look for traffic, I have to keep my balance, keep the pedals moving, balance myself on the bike. I was thinking about so many things that I couldn't ride the bike. And somewhere along the line, you started to get comfortable. And then over time, it became second nature to the point where you just jump on your bicycle and take off. You wouldn't even think about anything.
That's right. Doing. That's right.
The same thing with meditation, I found.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just remarking, I remember riding my bike as a young boy, and at that first pedal, the around, and then you tip a little bit, and you work your way up to getting 2 or 3 pedals around, and then you fall off again. But it's the same idea here. That one breath, that one focused breath really starts to build that habit pattern in a positive way.
Yes. Yeah. So I like to tell people, start with one breath. If that's all you can do, that's better than nothing at all. And then continue it, but be consistent. And over time, it's going to become easier and easier. And just the way that our bodies release hormones when we're angry, or our bodies release hormones when we're stressed, or we increase the number of receptors when we use medications and drugs so that we need more of them. The same thing can happen with good things, such as meditation. The more you do it, the more you will want to do it, the more you will crave it, and the more you will get out of it. But don't put the burden of trying to get some instantaneous result out of a meditation. Just trust that it's working and it's helping, and it does.
Well, it's very true. I got into a very good practice for about 2.5 years of daily meditation, and it is true. You desire it, you crave it. You could sit longer and longer and longer. And then, of course, life situations and changes happened, and I got out of that practice, and next thing you know, I'm missing it. And there's this balancing that goes on. If I could try to find some words that match it, there's this levelness that life begins to bring about in my personal experience. And as we know more and more, we look at information from people who do proper studies, the hormone balancing, changing the blood work in people through consistent effort of breathing techniques. In fact, I just got done with a client just a moment ago before coming on. They were having a panic attack, and I was guiding them through a breathing process that I combined with something in neuro-emotional technique, and the person was able to come out of the panic pattern. And so breath is such an amazing, it's a skill, but it's also something we've been given. So we have to develop it, it sounds like.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, brief daily meditation will enhance attention, memory, mood, and emotional regulation, especially in non-experienced meditators. It's so valuable and so incredible, and it's so easy to do.
Well, Dan, let's dive into that.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was an article. I didn't catch the article in the Wall Street Journal, but I caught it on LinkedIn, and it was basically a Wall Street article talking about the epidemic that's going on right now of forgetfulness.
So Dan, let me interrupt you. Let's dive into that article and go over some of the benefits of meditation and the solutions that we have for people after the break, if that's okay with you.
Sure. Sounds
All right,
great.
great. Thank you. See you in just a moment.
Guess what it is? It's Mount Laurel, New Jersey. It's RVN Television, and you know that it's time to boil your coffee.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds. They're back.
Yes, I hear them.
Uh-oh. Why are these birds so angry?
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
I'm going. Ah!
Hurry!
I know.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Welcome. I'm Barry Lefkowitz. I'm your host on New Perspectives on RVN TV. I come to you each week with issues and topics that you will generally find in the news. And if you're looking to be able to get caught up and know what's going on, then New Perspectives is the show for you on RVN TV. Look forward to having you.
Your mom's gotta go.
Oh, she's family.
Like daughter, like mother.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
She's using my Old Spice moisturizer with shea butter for impossibly smooth skin, and she's wearing my robe. It's bad enough you use up all my body wash, and now her.
We're out. Nice robe.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you. You got good taste. That's your mama.
Welcome back, everybody. We have Dan with us, and we're talking about unwinding ourselves, de-stressing ourselves through nourishment of the modality of meditation. And Dan was just about to lead into us a discussion of an article about some of the benefits of meditation. Was that right, Dan? Do I have that accurate?
Yeah, actually, it was an article in the Wall Street Journal, and the topic was our epidemic of forgetfulness. And basically what they were asking is, are you finding yourself struggling to remember names of family members or colleagues, blanking out when you're trying to recall everyday words? And they went on to say that if that is happening to you, well, you're not alone. Memory experts are saying that there's been a tremendous increase in the number of bouts of forgetfulness, and they're blaming it partly on 2 years of pandemic worry. Basically, stress can damage the brain's memory sensors.
Yes.
And especially now, as people are having to spend more cognitive energy either going back to the offices and the stress associated with that, or working from home and all the multitasking with all these different apps. I'm going through that myself, and all the stress that can then cause on you. So their recommendations, and this is the part that I thought was very interesting, is, they start off by saying, don't force yourself to try to remember. Just calm down and relax, because if you're forcing yourself, you're just creating more stress.
Right.
And that stress is just going to make it harder to remember things. So the first thing you have to do is calm down. I'm sure we've all experienced that. Once you stop trying to remember something, it pops into your head.
That's true.
They also recommended that, and the second thing was to stop multitasking and do one task at a time. Now, I don't know about you, but I have about 30 screens open at any one time in task. So that's a challenge, but I'm trying to do that as well. But the third thing, and this is what I really thought was interesting, is here's the Wall Street Journal promoting that everyone should meditate to calm themselves down and help reduce stress. So it's really going pretty mainstream. I thought that was very interesting.
Well, it's about time, because the evidence is very clear, and those that do it in a dedicated practice, the results are very self-evident. And the idea of the mainstream getting behind these therapies, it's the truth here is so loud, you can't deny it anymore. That's what I believe the holistic arts, the natural healing arts are going to be coming out in greater and greater ways because of all this neurological research that's been happening over the last 30, 40 years, and how to do it without outside the pharmaceutical
and the
model.
science is there. I mean, meditation is something that cultures have been doing for thousands of years, and it's been providing preventative care and healing care for thousands of people. I mean, for billions of people for thousands of years.
Yes.
I mean, Qigong, for example, I know that they've done live red blood cell analyses of people before they started a Qigong breathing exercise movement, and then 15 minutes after they've been doing it. Before they started, the red blood cells were all clumped together, indicative of unhealthy, diseased cells. And then after just 15 minutes of breathing Qigong movements, their cells they looked as if they were like coming from a very healthy individual. And what I love about meditation and Qigong is a gentle, moving, Tai Chi-like breathing exercise, is that anyone can do it at any age.
Yeah. You
can do it even if you're bedridden or sitting in a chair. You don't have to have special equipment. You don't need extensive training. It's just so natural and so simple to do and so beneficial for us all.
Well, it's very true. One of my greatest mentors in professional practice was an expert in Tai Chi and Qigong, and he said to me, or to a group of us one time, he goes, well, look at the longevity game. If that's where we're in it to live life and live life long and live life well. Though you don't see the sprinters and the bodybuilders, those that are pushing their body to the absolute limits, living to the long age. You see the Tai Chi masters of Asia that are living 100, 110, 150, and there's rumors of much longer with different forms of practice that I've come across. So there's something to this art of breath and movement that is so vital to the human existence and experience. So Dan, I wanted to kind of shift gears and talk about what you're offering, what's out there that you're sharing with people that is supporting them in their endeavor to become better meditators and better movers in life and just overall well-being.
Yes, I'm glad that you asked. There are a number of programs. You can go on YouTube and download meditations and try those. You can download Qigong exercises. You can go to robertping.com and download free videos. But one of the things that I'm very excited about is it's called Fit 545. Fit, F-I-T, 5, the number 5, -40, -5.com. And what Fit 545 was developed by two chiropractors in Europe who've literally helped thousands of their clients, and it encompasses exercise using high-intensity interval training, nutrition, and mindfulness exercises. And what they've done is they've taken their in-office platform, and they, with the help of one of their childhood friends who's also a chiropractor and a software developer, they now have an online platform that people can use, and it's really been, I like to call it Americanized, in that it doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of effort, and it's done for you. The exercises, the physical part can be done with equipment or just body weight in 20 minutes. The nutrition is spelled out for you, menus and shopping lists. They have paleo, keto, they're developing intermittent fasting. There's a cleanse program on there from Standard Process that's excellent. Standard Process is the oldest whole food supplement company in the United States, in existence for 100 years, with close to 1,000 acres of organic farmland in Palmyra, Wisconsin. But the part that I'm most excited about is the mindfulness section. And many people exercise in one form or another, and they think they're eating well, or they're doing keto or paleo or Mediterranean, but they haven't incorporated meditation into their daily lifestyle. And what Fit 545 does is it has a wide array of meditations that you can perform. And the meditations are broken into 3 separate meditations. There's a 10-minute, 40-second meditation in the morning that you can do right in bed when you wake up. There's a 5-minute breathing meditation that you do in the middle of the day, and a 10-minute and 40-second meditation that you do in the evening to wind down and help you to get to sleep. Because it's so important to get good sleep. And many of my clients and many people I've met are struggling in that area. It's so important to get the brain waves into delta, where you're going to see the repair, immune support, and human growth hormone being released. So very, very healthy and very, very helpful. And there's a wide array of meditations to select from. It's very simple. And this is the part about the platform that I love. It's run by a doctor, it's run by a practitioner, someone that's either a nutritionist, an acupuncturist, a chiropractor, a medical doctor, and they are your coach. I mean, where do you get that? So it's a comprehensive wellness platform I offer it on my website. Anyone can join. We do it as challenges that span anywhere from 15 days to 90 days. And it's free to people. So they can come on, use the platform, join a challenge. They can set up challenges on their own. And we coach it. We coach them, answer any questions that they have. And there's also a wonderful book that Dr. Gavin Sinclair and Dr. Ryan Copleston wrote. It's called The Simple Science of Wellness, which is written for participants in the challenge, and it explains simply and concisely how it works, why it works, and provides all of the science and research behind it for those that are interested as well.
Well, Dan, I want to thank you for sharing. I also have become a member and partner of this program. It is so well done. The science of wellness is known, and they have developed an amazing program and put it onto this online platform that is remarkable and is simple, and the results were phenomenal just after 1 week of using it for me. I was extremely pleased. I just had to get over some of the mental barriers for me to continue. With that being said, I'm offering it to my clients as well. So anyone wants to go to my webpage, drkeving.com, you'll see it right there, Fit 545. You can check Dan out well, Dan, what was your website? If you could put it out there.
Well, the long version is wholisticwellnessalternatives.com. The short version is hwahealthy.com.
All right.
Either one works.
Very good. Well, everybody go ahead and check out Dan's website. You can go to mine, get access to the Fit 545 program, get into the meditation. It is a great way to get started. And at a minimum, take that breath, focused in and out, and we'll see you next Monday when we go live for our next episode. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Dan, for joining us today.
Thank you. It was great.